right, a host of budget reactions coming in, and we're speaking now with Suneeta Reddy, MD of Apollo Hospitals, on the first budget of the third term of the Modi government, the one with a lot of expectations of big bang, and the thrust seems to be on job generation and employment. The private sector also enlisted in quite a few ways. So let me start with a reaction on that. Ms. Reddy, thank you so much, first of all, for speaking to us on NDTV Profit. And let's get your take on all the steps for employment generation that have been spoken about today.
Yes, I think that, the finance minister, after building a really strong economy in 8 years, this is really the thing that needed to be done the most. I think the focus on employment generation was very much needed. And she did that through several schemes. One is the employment for 4.1 crore youth, which will result in a 2 lakh crore outlay, is something that I think, especially in the healthcare industry, it's something that is very favorable in terms of being able to create new jobs and take in these new individuals who will, as we grow as a company, will get jobs within the healthcare industry. So clearly for the services sector especially, I think it's a huge incentive, and I'm sure it'll apply to manufacturing. And also we must consider the ripple effect of this. So for every bed we create, we employ 6 people. And beyond that is the ancillary industries where we generate 4 times more employment. So you can see that it will have a huge ripple effect on the space of employment. But I had hoped that we could do more for healthcare.
I was just going to come to that. Not too much said on healthcare per se.
Yes.
I think exemptions, duty exemptions on 3 cancer drugs, that's the extent to at least what I picked up from the speech. Do you think that this was a bit of an opportunity that could have been taken? And obviously, I'm sure the hope that steps are taken outside the purview of the budget?
I think we need to work and make sure that, that the sector is recognized, not just because it's industry, but for the work that it contributes to the economy. And clearly the customs duty exemption is the right signaling, because oncology cancer is growing at 22%. So the customs duty exemption on 3 additional drugs, on X-ray tubes which are used in X-rays, mammograms, and linear accelerators, of course, will make the treatment more affordable. So very heartening to see. And I think the third point was that we can now use our CSR to take more students for internship. And that will greatly benefit both the students and the companies. So. Yes.
Just to follow up on that, because when I was listening to that announcement on the internship scheme, 5,000 rupees a month for 12 months, a one-time payment of 6,000 rupees, and 10% of this has to come from the private sector in terms of CSR. Does this work out positively for you as a company?
Yes. No, it does, because, the work that we do, and I think that the impact that it makes, to have more people to be part of this effort, will really intensify and create a larger impact. So it's a good thing.
But you have to keep them on for 12 months. It's a 12-month internship.
So our CSR budgets are for 1 year, so that makes completely makes sense.
Okay, so that's a big positive as far as CSR is concerned. What about the incentives, ma'am, which has been given to companies? And I think for smaller companies also this will be a big benefit in terms of 3,000 rupees towards EPFO. I'm just wondering if the focus is on getting companies to employ more rather than only skilling potential employees. Do these announcements move the needle in your view?
So if you look at a company like ours that is really growing, we're adding beds, we're creating new infrastructure. So for someone who's creating new infrastructure, adding more beds, it makes a lot of sense. So for companies in that growth mode, I think without a doubt it makes sense. For companies who are looking to rationalize their cost structure, I'm not so sure.
Okay. So for companies that are looking to rationalize cost structure, it might not be that great. Just one more point, ma'am, on the corporate tax rate of 15%. that benefit has not been extended in this budget, or no announcement has been made so far. Do you think that that's a bit of a disappointment? Would you have hoped to see that? Also, no clear announcements on PLI schemes.
Yes. No, we had hoped that they had that they would do something with, like they had done PLI for manufacturing, that they would do the same for services, so that they would link employee uh, adding more jobs along with manufacturing and create something special around that. That didn't happen, but I think over a period of time, the importance of doing this should happen, because if you look at what is happening in the South and the global capability centers, as well as the service industries that have really been created over the past decade, this is an area of huge importance.
Okay. All in all, ma'am, what is the one best thing and what is the one thing that you were least impressed with, or you would have hoped for more in this budget?
No, I think the best thing is that it's business as usual. Slight difference in in tax rates for some people in terms of long-term capital gains tax and how they view it. So there's not. Let me say there's no negative impact, and I think it's for us to realize the positives and take it forward and make sure it happens in our companies.
Okay, thank you so much. That was
Thank you.
Suneeta Reddy, Managing
Thank
Director
you.
of Apollo Hospitals, saying that she liked the budget. Hoped there was more in terms of announcements on the healthcare sector specifically.